Hey everybody, I've been rebuilding a couple lighters here that I received. I'm guessing it's pronounced Nesor C 151 out of Japan. I got two of these lighters. I got one already done here, and this one here that I'm getting ready to reassemble. These are excellent quality lighters. They got the same, almost the exact same internal mechanisms as the Zaima lighters do. The only difference that I found to be maybe a slight bit of variation in the thickness of this here internal part here that goes in the bottom of the lighter. That would actually be I would just call that the sponge housing, okay, or the filter wick assembly, whichever you prefer. These lighters, both of these lighters were brand new, but both of them had to be, this was all stuck together, the old one. Most of the time when you go to try to pull these out from this center tube here, I don't know if you can see in there. Let me bring my light down. I got a light here, kind of special I got for this here. I don't know if you can see down that tube. You see that little ridge talking about down in the center of that housing tube there? Okay. You can tell that this lighter has seen minimal use. Okay, completely disassembled except for the filler valve, because I just put a new seal on that because it's good, and the roller plate here at the bottom. I don't ever disassemble the caps off of them. There's no need for that. But anyway, I'm going to assemble this lighter here. So, matter of fact, I just might try to do it through this lamp I got here, because it does put quite a bit of light on the process. So, well, it's going to interfere. Let's just take it off. Leave it on though. Alright, first thing you want to do is, when you're rebuilding these guys, you got to put a new, you got to cut a 3mm sponge, put over here, that's what, okay. Now you see that little ridge down in there. That's why I always use a set of tweezers to kind of help feed that through and get it past that ridge. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a chore to get it past that, but it will go in. Just got to work at it a little bit. There we go. Alright. I always put a little bit of, this seal is pretty tight. These new seals that I use. So I always put a little bit of silicone grease on there. Not a whole lot, but just enough to help it slide in a little better. Now when you're pulling these down in, you see where this little pipe comes up, it goes inside this valve assembly, comes into this, and this is where your flame comes out of. So you kind of want to, when you're putting these in there, you might kind of want to tilt it a little bit as you're coming past that. As you're coming past this stage right here, because there we go. Because sometimes there's a little bit of ridge sticking out from that pipe, just a little bit past these threads here. So good. And I take this and make sure it's all the way in. Seems to be. Sometimes you don't know until you stick the valve in. Now, the flame adjustment wheel, you always want those little nub on it to face down. Okay. This is the assembly here. Right here I put a new O-ring on this part here on the stopper pin here. Sometimes you gotta hit it to get down that hole. Then there's on this valve here, there's a smaller spring. It's got a little bit more tension to it than this here spring, and I cut a new stopper seal right there. Okay, so you'll fit that in like that. I always put these in on the side, because if you turn it upside down you could dislodge that spring from the inside of this stopper mechanism and get pinched in here while you're trying to screw it down and mess up your spring. So I use a little screwdriver on these. I usually snug it all the way down, okay guys? Not real tight, we just snug it. Alright. Then the next step for me is kind of shoot a little butane in this. Just shoot some down in there and then bleed it. The reason is I'm shooting some down there bleeding it is because I want to get the air out of the system, alright? So, then I'll shoot some more down in there. And I'll usually let a little out. Yeah, I got plenty of butane in there, so okay, we're good. Next step is okay, I got her stopped all the way. I'll just turn it up a little bit until I get a flame here. There we go. Alright, now what I want to do is, guys, is I got a flame and I want to check my stopper. Working good. Alright, working good. Now what you want to do, guys, on this is you always want, when you're doing this part, you always want to adjust your maximum flame. I'm just going to guess that's going to be it right there. Alright. Okay, the reason that is because of this screw right here, the screw mechanism. Because this thing, you got to tighten it from this direction here, and that doesn't give you much room to open it up to make your flame bigger, but it gives you plenty of room to turn it down. I think you'll see what I mean here in a minute here. Okay. Alright. Alright. Good deal. Now, also too, when it comes to the Zaima's, this little mechanism slides out, but this in here uses a screw and it's got a hole burp through the cap here. So, next thing to do is just put this on. Alright. So like that. And get your little, what they call your burner valve, or your don't snug these down too tight. Make sure you're in the center when you do snug it down, alright? Okay. That's good. Now we're going to put this is the part that actually closes the valve and puts tension on the lid. What I usually do is just get a little tool like this, and there we go. See that, guys? We got plenty of, what I'll do too is I'll stick that wide open, okay, on the gas. Okay, and I'll stick it up to my ear and I'll open it up, and I'll be able to tell when that gas starts and stops to make sure it's not leaking. Alright, well, that's pretty much it. You can see by how the flames flicker in there that I got a little air in the tank. That'll happen, guys, when you especially when you take the filler valve out. I took this one out earlier. What you're going to want to do is just probably bleed the tank a couple times. And, bleed it a couple times upside down, whatnot, whatever you got to do, because sometimes it gets a little condensation or something in these. That'll happen. Alright. You can see that's made a big difference right there. Some of these go together and they turn down pretty good, and some of them don't. These lighters kind of got a mind of their own. There you go, guys. Nesor C 151. These are quality lighters too, guys, if you want one. You can always get you if you guys want one of these but you want a pipe lighter, you can always find you a Zaima crystal. The Zaima crystals, unless somebody like me has stolen the pipe valve out of it and rebuilt another one, the Zaima crystals are always pipe lighters, okay? And you can actually screw that out and put that pipe burner in here and have you a pipe lighter if you want to go that route. Alright? Alright, guys. Thanks for watching.